What's one thing that you would wish that men would understand more about women in general to the world?
Respectfully, you could never. That's it. You could never.
That's
I'm
a real
gonna look
thing.
directly into the camera when I say this.
Oh, wow.
The
Man.
girls of my generation who think being pretty is being mean, go heal.
When you are a girl's girl, it doesn't matter if you know the person or not, you are going to want to see them win.
Yeah.
If your
Amen.
friend is doing something wrong to another girl and you sit there and you big her up, you are not a girl's girl.
Just to understand that who you pick as a partner is very, very serious.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited for today's episode. If you can see us, then you'll see that we're surrounded by a bunch of wonderful women and Caleb.
Oh, okay.
If you can't see us and you're hearing us, I just want you to know that we are in a room full of women. And on this episode, we are having a women's panel, essentially. So, yay.
I'm just happy to be here.
So without further ado, we're not going to waste your time. I'm going to introduce everybody here on this panel. And Caleb's going to walk us through a couple of questions. And we're just going to chat and have an honest, authentic conversation. And we may differ. We may, come in agreement. But that's the whole beauty of it, is we're women from different walks of life, and we have different perspectives and different views, and we're just here to chop it up, all right. So without further ado, to the right of me is the beautiful Janelle.
Hello.
Yes, she is a young mother and wife, a God-fearing woman. Hallelujah, won't he do it? And then to the left of Caleb, we have Skylar, who is in the beauty industry. She is a jack of all trades in the beauty industry. So she specializes in nail tech for sure, but that's what you may know her for. But she's also very well known for doing makeup, hair, lashes, you name it, one-stop shop. Come see your girl. You feel me? Yeah. And last but not least,
Familiar
she's
face.
been here. You know her. You like her. I love her. My good sis, Dav. Okay. She is, I love to call her a girl boss. She does everything, my go-to person for, text message, email, like whatever it is. You know what I mean? You need a job. You need an application. You need whatever you need. Okay. My good sis, she's a director of a program. She is also an entrepreneur. She is the CEO of her own company, Confidence in Me, Seeing Me. Just say, call it out. We here, we in a spot. All right.
Don't make it
Caleb,
hot.
talk to us.
All right. Man, well, to break my neck a bit.
Here we go.
Okay. Listen, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, first of all, for taking the invite. You feel me? Familiar faces.
Yes.
And we're going to get it popping off like this, right? Me, I'm here. Well, last time I said this, Bianca got on me, but I'm going to stay with it.
No, say it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, say it with your chest.
I'm a devil's advocate.
Because him and the devil is friends, apparently. And he speak on his behalf.
Relax. I like to play both sides. So I'm playing both sides today.
Okay.
You feel me? And we going to get it off like this. Okay, so I want to ask each and every single one of you. Okay? As a woman. Yes. How do you show up as your authentic self in a world that's, trying to box you in to one specific category? Okay. Now, I'm not going to let you start because you ready. We're going to go with you, Scarlett. No.
Wow.
Right here.
I feel like we got beef. And I don't know why.
You know why?
Why?
Because last time when it was just the three guys and you, you came at all of us. It's my turn now. It's my turn now. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm a firm believer in everybody has their own blueprint. So I feel like in order to stand out and in order to be the leader that you are, you have to walk in your purpose. And for me, it was finding my purpose. So I had to first of all, I had to go to God because I didn't know who I was. I had no idea where I was going, where I was headed. I said, God, listen, you put me on this earth, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I can't. And finding my image through him is what really led me into my purpose. And it led me into just the right people. And the people around me as well, they also helped build me into who I am today. So just honestly, do what you love to do. That's what I would say.
Love that. Really love that.
I agree.
Yes.
I would say that there are different versions of my authentic self depending on the environment that I am in, right?
Okay.
The work environment has one version of my authentic self. When I'm around my close friends, there's another version of my authentic self. When I'm around my homegirls and acquaintances, there's a different version of my authentic self. It definitely depends on the environment. I also believe that in every room, the version of me that I am with my friends may not fit that mold or environment. So I've learned over the years to tweak it. It's not that it's not authentically me, but I don't feel like who I am with my girls when we are happy hour should be the same person that's presented at the job.
Makes sense.
So there is a need to code switch my authentic self, but all those versions of me are different parts of me. That is who I am no matter where I am. There's certain parts that will show up everywhere, right? There's certain parts of my authentic self that will show up in every environment, and there are some that are just reserved for certain environments. And that's me. That's just kind of how I do it.
So you need code switching?
For sure, code switching.
You can't be too long.
I definitely said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely code switch, but for some people, they may believe like code switching is like you being fake or being like a different version of yourself. I just feel like it depends on the environment.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that. Janae.
For me, I echo what Scarlett was saying. I feel like I am who I am today, the real me, because of God.
Yeah.
The original me, the one that he saw in his heart, I am that today because of God and just the healing work that he has done in me. And that's how I can show up and be my authentic self, because I believe that because of the healing, I believe that I have a lot to unveil to the world, a lot of me, a lot of beauty, not just like, not physical beauty, but that inner beauty.
Yeah.
I'm no longer
and
living.
physical too, because you cute.
Thank you.
Period.
No comment.
Shout out to Janelle. It's her birthday, so
But yeah, I feel like I'm no longer living that self-protective lifestyle, and that empowers me to be the real me.
I love that.
Y'all said some good stuff. Gotta leave me for last. I think that I don't necessarily think that the world tries to box us into one specific category. I think there's many boxes for women, right? Depending on your background or like your ethnicity or like or where you live and just different various things that people put you in certain boxes for certain things. And I think that the way that I show up as my authentic self that's outside of that is, like most of these women said, first knowing who I am in God. Yeah. First and foremost. And second, it's just there's certain things that are innate within us that he gives you. That's just natural gifts. Whether it's like Scarlett, who just has these gifts that she's like, oh, thank you, God. Yeah. I'm going to use it. And now, you know what I mean? That's my path. Or just the ability to code switch. Because a lot of people don't have the ability to code switch. So Daph can walk into any single room and own it and empower other women and just do boss stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's an innate gift, right? Like a gentle spirit or just being empowering to other women. That's innate. Okay. For myself, like I like to call myself a sponge. I feel like God has given me multiple abilities to do multiple things, and I like to explore every aspect of them. And I think that's what keeps me outside of any box that anybody could possibly have, because the reality is, if I wanted to dance, I could dance. If I wanted to sing, I could sing. If I wanted to be Fortune 500 company or something, I could do. Like, it's just a matter of putting my mind to it and doing it. If I want to just travel for the rest of my life, there's a will, there's a way. I could be a blogger, make money from it. Like, it's just a matter of just doing everything and figuring out which sticks and which is innately easy for you, and just walking in that path regardless of what anyone has to say, because the reality is society catches up. So
okay, society. Oh, okay, you did this. I was about to clock. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Oh goodness, I just learned that. I'm like, ain't no way.
Do it, Caleb. Do it. Yeah. We gonna have to clip that.
Here we go.
That's a clip.
Here we go. Okay, boom. So here's my next question. Everybody spoke about faith. Love that, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's lately I've been seeing a lot about Proverbs 31 women. You know, and that's been every woman's, you know, go-to path, you know, trying to get to. You feel me? So in your own eyes, how do you, well, it can be your own eyes, but how do you think that God sees women in his eyes?
Can I start that off?
As you wish. Go ahead.
I just really want to start that off because once you said Proverbs 31, I felt a little triggered.
Oh.
And the reason why I felt a little triggered, here's the reason why I felt a little triggered. I felt a little triggered because that is a way that society or the Christian world puts us in a box. Because we are all not Proverbs 31 women. We are not we reaping and sowing and working in the field and we making the clothes and we waking up early in the morning and we taking the husband and we doing with the kid and then we doing what like baby. She's superwoman. She's a boss. Don't get me wrong. Love it. But we all have different walks. There's different women in the Bible. Esther was a queen, okay? She just came cute. And she said, hold on, let me fast. Let me fast for my people. But I ain't leaving the kingdom, though. I'm just going to fast for y'all.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's different women that do different things. We had my good sis Abigail. Is it Abigail? It was it Abigail? Yes, it was. That became David's wife after her husband, who was a fool. You know what I mean? Like, she saved her husband. What'd she do? She just rolled up on David and said, yo, my husband is not wise. You are king. You are great. Here's some food. Here's some water. Spare us. You know what I mean? And then she became queen after. Like, there's various different women in the Bible. There was the woman with the alabaster jar. She just knew she was a sinner and came and poured oil and just washed his, you know what? There's different women in the Bible. Please stop trying to make everybody a Proverbs 31 woman because let me tell you something. Baby, I ain't even doing half of she doing and I'm tired. I'm tired. Maybe you can speak to it because you a wife and a mother and baby, I'm tired and I ain't got no kids and no husband.
Well, she does set a high standard. Even I don't do everything in Proverbs 31. But I kind of want to answer the other question first. Yeah. How does God see women?
Yes.
I think he sees them as a reflection of himself. I feel like the way God has created women and their heart is a reflection of God's heart. The way God loves relationship, women desire and love relationship. Like, that's just a part of who we are. The way God is like merciful, women are merciful. Women will forgive a man hundreds and hundreds of times. And that characteristic comes from God, the merciful, the loving.
Caleb, don't look at me over here.
I'm sorry, I was listening.
You was listening. You go finish, but I'm gonna put a pin on that.
I'm trying to say that
I'm gonna put a pin on that.
Absorbing, and I'm trying to have that. I am absorbing because I'm here to learn, but baby, I don't got that much grace.
Forgiveness.
Not saying you have to do that, but that's where that sort of like forgiving, merciful aspect.
Yeah, that nature from us. Yeah.
No,
and I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even the nurturing aspect.
Nurturing.
So I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Caleb.
Oh, I'm coming.
Go ahead, Dev.
But go ahead.
You ready.
I'm coming,
go ahead,
though.
Dev.
What are we talking about? How God sees women?
Yes.
How the
And the
forgiveness
Proverbs
We're going to
31
talk about
and
the
all the
forgiveness.
things.
You got a pin on that right now.
And forgive me because I'm listening to this and I'm hearing all of this. I don't feel like I'm as, in tune biblically as everyone else in this room. I definitely am spiritual to a sense. Like, I grew up going to church and things like that. But I don't know that I'm this ingrained in it. So I feel like I'm sitting in this room and I'm like learning so much and hearing so much and gaining. That's one thing, like me and Bianca, like I always gain that knowledge from her because Bianca relates a lot of things to the Bible where I more so relate a lot of things more to life.
Okay.
Because I don't necessarily feel like just religion was as like woven in. Right? I don't feel like I grasped it the same way. So even hearing like you guys talk about it, it's just like, okay, I'm listening. They didn't tell me that part, right? They didn't tell me that part. I'm not hearing that part. But I don't know if I could speak to how God sees women because maybe like I haven't read Proverbs 22, so I don't even know what we talk about.
Proverbs 31.
31, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
I haven't read Proverbs 31, so I don't know what the expectation is.
She do a lot.
But I can't say that I'm the jack of all trades by far. I even struggle to maintain, work, my business, my friends, my family, like that level of balance. Anybody who can do it all, like I praise them. I see a lot of women. I'm like, there's not enough hours in the day for me.
Mm-hmm.
But these women, they're mothers and they're business owners and they have a job and they have a husband and they have friends and a social life and they balance all these things. So seeing those things are just amazing. But for myself, maybe how I see women, it's just like we are breaking barriers, right? I am a female in a position of authority in what some like to call a man's world.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like I have to become a little more aggressive sometimes when I need to get my point across when it comes to dealing with certain men, especially in the professional environment.
Yeah.
So I see women as like having a voice, right? Because we could think about back in the day, the husband ran everything and the women would like quiet. But now I feel like, no, sis speaking up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women are speaking. Women have things to say. And women are speaking well, right? They're not secondary to anyone. They're standing in that room and they're standing up.
Yeah.
So if I had to speak to how I see women, that's more so how I see women. But I can't really speak to the religious part of it. I'm not too familiar.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Scarlett.
So the way I feel like God sees women, we are the apple of his eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole purpose of just growing in your faith is, all right, he expects you to come as you are, but he doesn't expect you to stay as you are.
1,000.
Right?
1,000.
So for me, like life, you want to grow as a person, you have to expect changes. Like being uncomfortable is growth. For me, I grew up with my mom and my sister showing me what it is to like hold a man down. And growing up, I'm like, oh, you stayed after he cheated? You great. I didn't understand it until I came in my 20s and I'm like, wait, I thought you were weak for staying. That was actually strength, because to love a person through their faults and stay there, you have to have a lot of strength for that. Yeah. And I used to always think like, oh yeah, the minute a man cheat on me, I'm leaving. No, it's easy to give up. Yeah. So I challenge myself every day to like, all right, how can I come with a spirit of understanding? How can I understand this person instead of like just soaking in what I feel like is acceptable? Oh, it's a mutual, it has to be a mutual understanding. Yeah. And it's certain things that I didn't really like, like, okay, we grew up living on Disney princesses. Like, oh yeah, okay.
That's me.
I'm like you want
I'm Jasmine,
everything.
Baby. I love her.
You want everything. Like, we're like, okay, a man is supposed to tend to us. But in this generation too, it's hard to really like grasp a traditional man. Like men want a traditional woman too. And it's like this generation is out of touch with it. Like, so it is.
I want to piggy before you even go there, because I already know we're about to go. Hold it. Thank you very much. I want to piggyback off what you said, right? I know I spoke about being triggered by Proverbs 31, but I do want to speak to how God sees women. But I want to speak to it specifically to me. When you said that we are the apple of his eye, I'll go back to when I always say, oh, I'm just a girl, right? And I love saying that because I love saying that because I don't say I'm just a girl in the context of this world. I say I'm just a girl because God is a girl's dad, right? Like he's my father. Like I can feel his embrace. Like I'm just like every little minor inconvenience, I talk to God. I'd be like, okay, but why God? Okay, but then, when they talk about like God, he'll leave the 99 for the one. I'll be the one just hopping around. And he just like always comfort me and he gets me and he pulls me back and he's like, okay, but so patient, but so caring, so loving. And he's just always there for me. And it's just like, especially as young women, if you are single or you have father issues or you have like abandonment issues or whatever it is that you may have, to know that you have a God who created this universe and is so mindful of you specifically, boy. Yeah. It go crazy every time. It goes everything every time. So I am just a girl, but I'm his girl.
Yes. God's girl. We need that on the shirt.
God's girl.
I can't say that, but say it again one more time.
God's girl. That's it.
Not the first line.
I be saying things and I don't remember how I said it. Rewind the tape.
Play the clip. Okay. That was good. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be in the room if you can't tell. But I put a pin on something. Forgiveness. Daph. Why was that so hard for you once that word came up?
Forgiveness is difficult for me, not just in relationships or men, with people.
Mm-hmm.
I will allow you to make a million different mistakes, but I refuse to allow you to make the same mistake over and over and over again. I'm very vocal. I will let you know that mistake was made.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a one and done before. I've grown from that. But I absolutely refuse to accept the fact that someone can make the same mistake over and over and over again, and you must continue to extend forgiveness. But we are all a host of imperfections, right?
Yeah.
I understand that. And you are allowed to make mistakes. I am allowed to make mistakes. But at the point that I keep doing the same thing to you that you have expressed to me that you don't like or is disrespectful or is, at this point, I don't care. Because I'm still doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point am I going to say it's not a mistake anymore?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to me with forgiveness, that's kind of like where I draw the line. Like it could be a million different mistakes, but it cannot be the same mistake over and over again.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Makes sense. You also turned around like this when you heard the word.
I turned around to listen to her because I was like, that was really profound in terms of like the comparison.
I'm just making sure.
She's like, I didn't do that.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
just making sure.
But I understand what Daph is saying, and I have a line of agreement, but to a certain extent. I think like, the Bible does teach us to, forgive 7 times 77, 777, like just to forgive forever.
Forgive.
But I'm a firm believer in, I agree with you. You can't keep making the exact same mistakes and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Yeah. I'm not insane. Are you? You know what I mean? So for me, I pride myself in not giving people the opportunity to make the same mistakes over and over again to me. Mm-hmm. So you can offend me. I will forgive you. I will not hold offense for you. Mm-hmm. And I will, how they say forgive and forget. Mm-hmm. I forgive. I didn't forget, but I let go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because to forget is to put myself in a position for you to do it to me again. I didn't forget. I let go of it, but I also changed my position in your life that will never give you access to be able to do that to me multiple times, essentially. Yeah. Okay. So in the example of you mentioned a man cheating, right? Mm-hmm. I can forgive the first offense depending on the circumstances now. You know? Mm-hmm. I could forgive the first, offense. The second time, again, changing my position, i.e. not with you anymore. Okay. You can't cheat on me if you ain't with me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Change it. I forgave you, I let it go. If I could see you, I can dap you up. What's up? We had a good time, didn't we? Yeah, but I'm not yours to cheat on no more. Mm-hmm. Grow up or do it to somebody else. That's what I mean by that, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, babe.
I feel like, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I feel like what you described is more of like that passive forgiveness. What she described is more like active and assertive, where she is demanding change.
Right.
In yours, you had to like demand that change and see that change because it's kind of similar. You said like over and over and over again. Right. And sometimes that's what God does with us. Like we do the same thing over and over and over again, and he still forgives us. Right. But he's also like demanding that transformation, that change. Yeah. Like you can't keep forgiving the same thing over and over and not seeing that change in that person because he's now like that person is willfully doing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While you're, making the change and making sure like, hey, I'm just going to step out of your life. And this is not just for cheating. I feel like I started something. This is not just cheating.
Not just for cheating. Cheating is definitely a whole another category, and I think is suggestive to the person. Everybody's different with how they deal with it. I try not to. I'm learning to not be that person. Like it could never be me, because it very much could be me.
Yeah.
I do have a very serious stance on it, but everybody's different, and I feel like, listen, it's not your relationship to say anything. It's not your relationship to say anything on, but I think cheating is so much deeper for me because also being a nurse, which I am by license. I've seen a lot. And
oh my gosh, I hear that all the time. Nurses be going wild and all this.
Well, no,
Oh.
it's not that. But
I didn't want to say
being
anything.
a nurse,
Now nurses going
being
wild.
a nurse,
They do go out
being
though.
a nurse, going
I
to
know a
nursing school.
couple.
I mean, I would hate that even more. But being a nurse, going to nursing school, understanding how many different things are out there, how they can be contracted, and just understanding how nasty people really are. I think people take that for granted. Like, oh yeah, you know, this person cheated, he cheated or she cheated, and it's like, okay, but you don't understand, like, just because you were spared this time, like next time it could be a one and done. Like, there's so many people, you know, in the hospital, unfortunately, with HIV/AIDS, uncurable diseases, because it was just that one time someone cheated. So it's deeper for me because it's a rooted fear, right? It's a fear of something like that. So I feel like cheating, listen, to each his own, but me,
Can't do. I'm gonna put a pose on y'all real quick. I want to talk to the boss babes.
Okay.
Not saying y'all not boss.
That's what you trying to say.
Because she's bossing the whole household over here.
Yes. Managing a husband, a child, life, day-to-day, household.
Let me not say it like that. I want to talk to my left side.
Okay.
I want to talk to my left side.
Because we bossed up in here.
My left side, yeah. Okay, so being, like you said, in a men's field, granted you're not in the men's field too, but you're still in a very competitive field, right? What are the challenges that you faced in your field that you feel like you're overcoming?
Okay, we're gonna start off with today.
Oh, already?
Fresh.
Fresh.
Right now.
I am so comfortable with being in the shadows. I do not like to present myself publicly. I always said my work is gonna speak for itself, right? Not realizing that I had to brand it. People like to put a face to a brand. And I'm very comfortable with privacy. I love privacy. I want to make the money and stay out the way. So putting myself out there on a public pedestal it's been very, very difficult for me. And not because I am scared of just putting myself out there, letting people see me for me. The internet could be a wild place.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just want to protect my peace and my privacy.
Yeah.
But it's so far, I feel like that's usually God takes the ones that are more so in the shadows and he puts them to the forefront because he has a plan for their lives. So I'm just going to let him use me and take it where he needs to take me.
I know that's right.
That's good.
For myself, it depends on which bracket we're talking about. There's different brackets, and I feel like I experience different things. But if we're talking about like my career, my work life, I work in youth development, and I work in Marcy houses, which is definitely a tough neighborhood, but also in advocating for that community and advocating for what they need, especially just having people understand like there were promises made to this community and we need to uphold these promises, but also like being sure like no one's doing a disservice. Sometimes I feel like I'm screaming and no one's listening, right? Because people are like, yes, they have problems here, but so do they, and so do they, and so do they. So there's so many ways that I feel like I have to fight for people to understand like, hey, hear me. I'm not just being emotional because I'm a woman, right? I'm not just being emotional. I'm actually advocating for something that is needed. And sometimes I feel like when people are hearing me in that environment, they think I'm just being emotional, right? They think I'm being emotional and I'm being upset. So I feel like I fight those battles and overcome that. But also when I have to step into an alpha female role, most of the time, you know, there's a lot of men in the professional field that are very offended by that, right? Yeah. They're very offended by an alpha female. And when I become this alpha female, I'm speaking for myself, it may come off a little disrespectful sometimes to someone who is offended by an alpha female. But I have to step in that role to get my point across. And those are some of the struggles that I find that I face in dealing with this and just dealing in my role. So that's one of my biggest struggles, like under 2 points. One, that I'm not being emotional. I'm advocating, right? And two, that yes, if I have to step in that alpha female role that alpha part of me is a little masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm at a point where it's just like, it's 2025.
Yeah.
I need men to stop being offended with women stepping into that alpha role.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of my struggles there.
Okay.
I struggle with those things.
That is really good. Before I even get into that, I do want to touch a little bit back on what you said when it comes to the whole, having to put yourself out there now even more and respecting your privacy and all that. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I want to tap in a little bit more. How are you able to, keep the privacy, but also, putting yourself out there? Because that's one of the main things a lot of people that are in your position, you're a creator too. Everybody is a creator. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to be a content creator
so
so bad.
Real bad. You could take us out the hood.
Yo,
Man.
come
on,
on.
you could take us out
Don't
the
get me
hood.
started on that.
I'm saying,
Don't get me started on that.
You
Don't
playing.
even piss me off today.
Anyways, you playing. You playing.
Wow.
Anyways.
Scarlett, your answer?
No, for sure.
I found balance with just keeping myself focused on my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I blocked out all distractions. Like, for example, like I have a business page and a main page. I went ghost on my main page. Like, I've completely deleted it for like 2 years and just locked in on my main goal and my main focus. And that's what really had me like, all right, I could work, but also I need a personal life. I need to show my personality. I need to show like I'm creative. They only see that aspect of me, but they don't see me as a person. And a lot of my girls, I'm accustomed seeing them like probably like 2-3 times a month, and they come in and they're like, girl, this is all you do? Like,
What you been up to? What's going on?
Like, what's going on? Like, I see you, but I don't see you anywhere else but here. If I don't come here, I don't hear from you. I don't, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta stop being a turtle. Like, I gotta stop doing that. And that just keeping yourself focused is where I find that balance.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I do want to go back. Thank you so much, Daph. I'm going to go back to you. You said, whenever you speak in the space of advocating, for, what it is that you do, you don't want to appear like you're being emotional, as most men, would say. So I'm going to ask everybody here now.
Oh, we here on
y'all back in it now. Right side with the left.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What's one thing that you guys would want men to understand about women in the world today? What's one thing you want men to understand? Because for you, not saying that's what it is, but one of the things is when you're very passionate, you're very caring, men automatically says, oh God, I should be emotional. You know what I'm saying? So we can start. What's one thing that you would wish that man would understand more about you when it comes, or about women in general, to the world?
I might be controversial when I say this.
Okay.
What else is new? Get ready for the 12 minutes.
But respectfully, you could never. That's it. You could never. And that's not to minimize the weight of being a man, because again, love y'all. Love a God-fearing big black man now. And I know the world is pit up against you. You got everything on your shoulders. You the covering of the household. You are this, that, and the third. But half of the time is because we make you feel like that. And when I say you could never, I do mean, imagine doing all that you do and menstruating and having chemical imbalances in your body. Struggling with maybe infertility issues, struggling with, men have mental health issues as well, but ours is chemical imbalances. And the pressures of the world of when you're getting married, when you're having a kid, you have one too many boyfriends, now you're a whore. If you're around too many women, are you lesbian? It's just, it's without ending. Are you pretty enough today? Why you ain't get your hair did and your nails did? And it costs money, right? Oh, okay. But if we ask you for $1, now we gold diggers. It's so many ridicule that we get while being a woman, showing up as a woman, wanting to be something you like, but you don't even know what you really like because you want the natural, but then you going with the bust down, then it's like, if you like this type of body type, if I get my body done, then now, oh, you a botch body, and then, if you know what I mean? Like, it's just, no matter what we do, it's
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Thank you, sis. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It never is. You could be a male that is 30, that has a minimum job with, bald patch on your head and, just no swag whatsoever, but you have the audacity to talk down to a woman because, respectfully speaking, we up. Right. You know what I mean? That has our own, that's doing our own, that get the check, that go get the bacon, fry it too, and we do it all. But a mediocre man can talk down to said woman, right? Because society said he's of value. It's a scary world we live in. Why do you want to tear them up? I do. I really do. You know, if we have it all together, then we're undesirable. We are intimidating, and because how dare you go to work and feed yourself and have a job and drive a car by yourself? What? And if we don't, then it's, she looking for somebody to take care of her. So why don't she take care of me like my mama take care of me? Like, what in the world? So yeah, I said all that to say, you could never. You would cry on day one of being a woman. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, and I didn't even mention carrying a child. I didn't even mention that. I said all those things. I didn't even mention that, buddy. Yeah. So,
no. So
somebody else.
So you're one thing you wish men would understand is that we can't understand.
No, not even just that you can't understand, because you can try to understand. Yeah. You could never walk in our shoes. Okay. We can never walk in your shoes. What I'm asking for is to understand that you could never be us, just like we could never be you. So have grace, have respect, have compassion, be a gentleman, be nice to women. Because, you could never.
All right. Thank you, Bianca.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay.
Anybody?
I have, besides just the emotional aspect that I spoke of before, boundaries, right? Respecting boundaries. As someone who is very clear on what I like or don't like, when it comes to people, I feel like a lot of women, unfortunately, experience the lack of boundaries when it comes to men. It's just like she's leading me on, or they're reading the body language wrong. But I feel like if people were more direct, right? If you feel like, hey, this woman's body language is giving she's interested in you, just ask, right? And she may say yes, or she may say no. And if she does say no, she's not like playing hard to get. Right?
It just no means no.
Take it for what it is.
Thank you for saying that. Another thing on the list that you could never.
You spoke already.
No. Another thing, because Dad made a great point. I forgot that part too. That you could never deal with the anxiety of walking down the street because you are getting hollered at, harassed by weirdos. Strangers, men that act not even. Imagine, guys, walk down the street. Would you like it if random men was just pulling
we
at
have
you?
That same fear.
Pulling at your body. No,
we have fear of getting jumped. What do you mean?
No. Don't get me wrong.
What you mean?
Yes.
But we're talking about sexually.
Sexually. Yeah, no, that's weird. That's weird. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, because I mean, we're scared of getting kidnapped. That's a fear for our lives. I'm not even gonna talk about that part. I'm talking about just sexually harassed and being put in a position where, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody else, because
that's what it is. I feel like understanding boundaries. If someone says no, then they're not just
no means no.
No means no.
Right? Just all of these boundaries, and I feel like that'll be helpful for even men who don't have ulterior motives, but may get caught up in something where a woman may feel like they're being sexually harassed by them or something of that nature, and that may not have been your intent. But if your boundaries were a little different, maybe you wouldn't experience that. So I just hope that for all men, especially raising young men and, you know, dealing with young men and raising them to be who they will become, teach them boundaries.
Yeah.
Teach them boundaries for sure.
It's good. Yes. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously do face a lot of criticism with anything we do, but I also try not to like get into too much of like the gender wars. I'm sorry.
No, this was not a gender war, because I did say I love you men. Compassion, respect for one another.
No, you started a war, babe. You did. They about to. It's
well, you know what? I said what I said. One thing I'm gonna do is stand on it.
The 30-year-old bold patch.
Low patchy want to fight.
Low patchy
want to fight. You started him up. Low patchy want to fight.
I said what I said. Well, go ahead, Janelle. She the peace. She the peace, right? Peace.
Well, there's value in both genders. Obviously, men need women and women need men.
Absolutely.
But something that I wish that they would know is that emotions are a strength because it signifies emotional intelligence, and that's something that's pretty unique to women. Like women usually are the ones that are teaching men or teaching their husbands to be more emotionally intelligent. So I wish that they would know that it's a strength, especially when it's the I guess more of the positive emotions and stuff like that. And I wish that they would try to understand a woman's heart, try to understand who we are as people, as women. So I wish that they would get that. You know, as I said, I try not to get into the gender stuff, but I do hate a lot of what we see online. I do hate pretty much all the red pill stuff. Sorry.
No, agree.
Oh man.
I do.
The
disrespect.
Real. And on both ends it's real. Sometimes women
women have their own, you know, the sprinkle lady. She's like,
yo, oh my gosh.
She's
they
but you know what? You know what? I feel like both sides serve a purpose to find each other.
Yes.
Because I feel like I don't know about anybody else, but I love when a stupid man say stupid thing because it just disqualifies you off rip. Like, thank you for showing me you off rip. I don't even got to figure it out. You just showed me you. And I appreciate that. Because you could go and find someone that is like that or has those mindsets. Again, like, I fully agree with you. I say things a little passionately because I be tired. But I do agree. Like I feel like, again, as I stated, women can never be men and men can never be women.
Thank you.
So respectfully, if you know you could never, and I know I could never, which is why I show up with respect to men, which is why I honor you, which is why I value you. I think the weight of the world is on you. Likewise, have respect, have value for the women counterparts around you. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Oh, and something else. I wish they also would understand that we are capable of leading spaces as well. We are great multitaskers. We are
very good.
I multitask very well.
We are great organizers as well. You know, like in our marriage, for example, he tends to be like the headliner, and he would say like, "Hey, we need to do this." And my part would be like telling us how to get there, how to organize it, so we can lead in that capacity. Balance. That doesn't mean I want to be over a man. I want to, be a man. I want to, but we do have those characteristics in us as well.
I like that.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
I think
Can she get a word in, please?
Who's 1 and 2? Who's 1 and 2? 1 and 2 about what?
1 and 2 of my rebuttals. I'm coming.
No, I was just gonna say
I wouldn't be on the rebuttal side.
I'll be rebuttal.
I thought she's the rebuttal. I'm not the rebuttal. I'm the rebuttal.
No, not you.
No, it was me.
Okay, let's Scarlett get her answer.
Yeah, Scarlett, get your answer. And I'm
get your answer and
gonna
you
say what you say.
Get to it there. Go ahead. I'm cooking. Hold on.
Dangerous territory. I'm nervous.
I'm just gonna go off of what Janelle said. Understanding. I wish men would understand that it's okay to get therapy. because you cannot lead a
Mm.
home if you're not 100% in yourself. And if you can't come and talk to your wife, you can't even go talk to your God, to go talk to God, then you in no capacity to lead a home at all. So just healing and getting rid of trauma and baggage is very important. And I wish all men would understand that it's okay to go and talk to somebody and release baggage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
What's the rebuttal?
Not the rebuttal.
Okay.
It's just so I want to add on
Follow-up,
follow-ups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What you was gonna say to Janelle?
All I
Oh,
was
add
gonna
on,
say,
yeah.
all I was gonna say was in the aspect of leading in some spaces. I think that was a beautiful thing that you said, because we all have gifts, and I think whether it's in a relationship or a friendship or at work or whatever the case may be, that there are places where a woman shines and there are places where a man shines, and that does not take away from either parties, right? Like, I look at it the analogy of like a football game, right? You have the coach and you have the players. Like, there is a role, like the coach is seeing all of the sides and all the plays and is running game, but who goes and plays that game is the players, and that does the touchdowns and do all that stuff. So likewise, what you were saying is like, yeah, you can be coach and you like, yeah, we about to run this down at the third, but you know what? I'm in the field. I'm gonna put all this in place for you because you have the bigger vision, and I can play all the other. I can see all the sides and see what you need and where you lack, and I could step up. Like, maybe I'm better with finances, and you're better with this, and I'm better with that. And you, like, it should be a place for both of us, and that shouldn't take away from anything. And if it takes away from anything, then that's a different. It's a hard thing. It's a insecurity thing, and it has nothing to do with gifts and talents. But that's all.
Okay, fine. Oh, that was good. Thank you, everybody. That was beautiful. To get to devil's advocating. To touch on, I'll start off light.
Okay.
Boundaries. Yeah, you're like.
Okay.
The boundaries aspect, right? It's really hard to set boundaries when you don't even truly know everything about yourself in the first place. You know, and I think that, speaking personally for me, it's one of the things I'm learning right now is I really can't, unless it really weighs me down, then that's when I will know, like, okay, so this is something I must address, and this is something that I have to actually keep at the forefront and know how far my line or where my line is, you know? So I think, you know, setting boundaries is very important, but it's really hard to set that boundary if you yourself don't even know your limit in the first place, you know?
For myself, one thing that thankfully I have known exactly who I was from a very young age.
Lucky.
Right? But where I got that from was the values that both my parents instilled in me. My father is a very, very aggressive type of dude, and my mom is more so docile, like calmer. So there were things that I took from the both of them to create who I am now. But I also took pieces from my brother. I took pieces from my sister, my friends. So the values that I set for myself at a very young age, I still have those morals and values now. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't necessarily have the example in front of them that they can do that. And a lot of more people are still trying to figure out who they are. But I feel like you know what you like and what you don't like, right? So if you are someone who doesn't like to be touched, what would make you think like, hey, I don't like to be touched. It makes me uncomfortable, but I'm going to go touch her because she must love it, right? You can't do it. If you don't like it for yourself, why would you want to do that to someone else? So I feel like knowing your boundaries, people may not know who they are, but they know their boundaries. They know what they don't like. They know what makes them uncomfortable. And the things that make me uncomfortable are also things that I don't do to other people. I don't necessarily like to be touched, right? That's something that I've just always been that way from young. I don't go to touch people all the time. Like, I am someone, like, they will more so, my friends will come hug me before I will go hug them. Right?
Yeah, I hug Daff all the time. She don't like it, but
right? You hear
it
that?
happens.
You hear that crossing that boundary?
Yeah.
I don't like to be touched, so I'm not going to go be in a space and I'm going to touch people, right? They may not mind, but they're going to more so come to me before I go to them. So I feel like the boundaries that I set for myself help me set boundaries with other people. The levels of respect that I expect from myself helps me do that with other people. I've learned through experiences. I've also learned through other people's experiences. I learned through my own and other people's. So just learning those things helped me set boundaries. But also, I will study before I engage. So when I come somewhere, I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm watching, and not just necessarily watching people that I don't know. I also watch my friends. If I'm coming in a space and normally this person is always on 100 and today they're on 40, something's not right. So I'm scanning the room. I'm scanning how everybody's reaction is, what's going on. And I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with me. It could be something to do with them. I don't internalize how they're feeling unless it's directed towards me. But just analyzing, I feel like if people took a minute to step back and analyze before they engage, it would make a very big difference. So if you see a woman walking down the block, you're analyzing. If she looks like she doesn't want to speak, why do you have to be like, smile or...
Because y'all never look like y'all want to speak.
So don't speak. Right?
Literally.
But if I look like I don't want to speak, why are you speaking?
Because it'd be the same ones that says, well, you just have to approach me and then I'll change.
No, and then most of them be like, why are you talking to me? Especially the New York version of women. If someone looks unapproachable, I'm not going to approach. They may want to be approached, but they have to change that in themselves for them to be approached. But I feel like if I see somebody with a mug on, if I see a guy, he mugging, I ain't gonna be like, well, smile, why aren't you having a good
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel. I probably fight for my life in my head, like, or even people who have
I'm on my 12th reason looking for a 13th. Like,
people have their mental health issues. You don't know what they have going on, and here you go. Like, here you go. I'm not like. I just will respect people's space. If their energy says or their face says they don't want to speak, I'm not going to find out.
For sure.
What are you, on a journey? Like, you looking for gold? Can you just sit and just let them be? Their face looks screwed up. They don't want to talk. Don't speak.
Yeah.
Trust me, because if they wanted to engage, they would.
They would.
You know? So.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, I like that. Now, to you. I'm going to leave y'all for last. Y'all too.
What you do, Janelle?
Not today.
It's not your fault. You
It'll look like that. It's a birthday. Yes.
You sit next to me.
No, I want to
It's
ask
proximity.
questions. Come on.
Oh, she wants the song. She said,
Give me the.
Wait a minute.
What's the relationship questions? Come on.
Relationship questions.
Wait
I have
a
a
minute.
message to young women. Come on.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hello, let me get there. Let me get there. You spoke about Big going through therapy, you know, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine, and he was like, "Why don't most men go to therapy?" And I told him, my personal opinion, therapy is a luxury. Yes, it should be a standard, but it is a luxury, and I'll tell you why. Because most men between most likely 18 all the way to their 30s, because that's when they hit their prime, we're on survival mode. We don't have time. Like I had this conversation with, I said, we don't have time to worry about what happened to us when we were young or what's going on in our lives, because we're trying to get to a certain goal, especially if one of our goals is to aspire to be, you know what I'm saying, a father, a husband and all that. We don't have time to be, you know, trying to worry about how I felt yesterday because of something that you did to me. Nah, we're going to push it out and we're going to keep pushing because, you know, especially the fathers, you know, they have kids. Like, imagine worrying about what your mom did to you at 8 when you only got $10 in your account and you got to feed your kids. You feel me? So therapy is a luxury. Sadly, it should be a standard. It should be something jobs offer. It should be in schools, but it is a luxury that's why most men have it in their 30s, because that's when they've settled, they're stable, you know, and now they have the luxury. Therapy is expensive.
Yeah.
I have co-pay $25 for the therapy.
To piggyback on that, you're right. Because then when they hold on it too much, we're the same ones that's like, get over it. You why are you still focused on that? Who cares what happened when you were 12? Emotional, sassy. Oh, you got that one. They need you in them up. You got that one. They need you in them up.
Exactly.
You're right.
Where I kind of like, I get it. But my question to you is, do you want to end the generational trauma or do you want to continue it? Because
part,
it's a
that part.
generational cycle. It's a generational curse. You not healing that part of you is trickling down to your kids.
Yeah.
True.
So you can't lead a household if you are still giving same reactions as to like something from your parents. Your parents raising you could have triggered you, and you're passing that on to your kids, not realizing it. So that's why I say, in order to lead a home, a man has to heal. And you may not be able to go and afford therapy, but your wife is there. God is there. These things are free.
Shoot.
Church counselors.
church
And on that too,
Mhm.
I strongly believe that healed men heal the world.
That's true.
If we have more healed men,
Good one.
the world will be in a better place.
That is true.
Listen,
I get
That
it.
is true.
Healed,
Life is hard.
healed men make women soft.
Hello.
Life
is
You know what?
hard.
That's true. I'm an example of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, left side.
Thank you.
Now,
Don't even
to my
come at
wonderful.
us like that. I just already know.
I'm joking. I'm chilling. Chilling. It's your
Go
birthday.
ahead.
I'm gonna go light. Oh, last thing I
Now, she
want to
said
say.
she want the smoke. She
She
said,
want the
come.
smoke?
She
I
said,
got
come
it.
here.
Okay,
She
so
said, I got a
boom.
message for the young women.
Boom. Devil advocate, right?
Here we go. Him and the devil always want to be homies.
Feel me? You said a lot about, women are great in the men's spaces. They're great at leading.
Not men's
I mean,
spaces.
Go ahead.
We have the capability
You have
to
the
lead
capability.
certain spaces.
Yes, precisely.
Get it right.
And I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
However, in society, we all know image is a big thing,
Okay.
right? So and I always use this example, right? Jeff Bezos is still one of the richest men in the world, but once he lost his wife, he lost the top 3. He's now top 5. So I'm not negating that, having women in certain spaces or having women by your side to, elevate you is the problem. But to say that we can voluntarily give you those spaces without at least a little bit of a pushback or just freely give you that spotlight in our current society, it won't work because image matters. Image matters. Most men, obviously, by the way that we was raised, we know women don't. I don't want to say it. I'm devil's advocate.
Say it.
Women don't matter.
Yeah.
In our world. Because nobody is going to take the word of women because what they're going to say, what do you know? And especially if they're going by history, y'all was at home. Y'all wasn't in the fields for real.
Yeah.
So to voluntarily just give a woman a job of a CEO or to give the presidency or to put you in, let you work in those spaces of men, it's not that it can't happen. I know.
Nah, it's not even that. It's the words like let.
No,
give.
but it's
those
place
words.
of truth.
No, I know.
agree.
I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying those words. It's just every time it's like a gunshot. I feel like let. Stay at home. Say wow. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, like I said, I don't truly believe that they don't know these things, or the men in the higher places don't know these things. It's just image matters. So they're not just gonna let it happen without she had to work hard for it, or, it's because she's by my side that she's here, because at the end of the day, men are gonna take the credit because that's just the world we live in. That's just the lay of the land.
What's the question?
Ain't no question. It was just a rebuttal.
Oh.
I'm playing devil.
I was waiting for the
You know what I'm
question. I was trying to
saying?
see like where we going.
That was,
Go ahead.
I was like,
that's all you.
That was now.
I'm trying to understand exactly.
Well, I mean, I guess, do you have
something
else to say? A rebuttal to what I said.
Can you concise it just a little bit? Like
Oh,
what?
Bianca, go ahead.
Okay.
That's what you're here for. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Long story short, in this society where men are the patriarchy and hold all these spaces and the roles and the titles based off of image, it is very difficult. He's saying it's very difficult for a man to give those props or give that step aside and say, yeah, she's this. Yes, she's that. Yes, she's CEO, she's that, without having to put all of the grunt work, fighting, nail and tooth to get there, because the reality is men need that space essentially because they think that they own that space and women don't deserve that space.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what I'm hearing is ego.
1000%.
For sure.
Again, I don't like the
feel you.
gender,
but it's not a gender war per se.
Okay.
Ego with a
You know what I
splash
mean?
of social media.
Yeah.
Social media. Because if there's nobody watching, who
But
who's to
you
say?
do have to remember though, men take pride in their work. That's how
Yes,
we.
the
You know,
men's
that's how
makeup,
we-
they need to work.
Yeah.
They find value in that. And I completely understand that. But as you know, in the course of history, women have not received a lot of like the credit.
For
You
sure.
said that they were at home, but at home doing what? When they were in war, what were the women doing? They were doing everything.
Everything. For sure.
Literally.
Yeah.
For sure.
They were doing a lot. You know, they say behind every great man is a great woman. You know,
For sure.
we are in the background doing stuff. We are inspiring our men to make decisions in their workplace, in their status, wherever they are, in their kingdom, you know, whatever. But I think maybe telling men that it's okay to give the woman credit. It's okay to give the woman that space, especially if she is able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't see what the issue is. You know, my senior leader, pastor, is a woman.
Let's go.
You know?
Let's go.
So I don't see too much of an issue, but I also understand my placement and my place, and I never want to try to like forcefully or aggressively like pull down men because, you know, after patriarchy and stuff like that. No, I understand both roles. I understand what we do, what we value, what each gender contributes. And listen, if she is better, then give her that credit and let her lead that way.
Okay.
I wanna say one thing about this. It's
Always
gonna
saying
be cool.
something.
Listen, it's what I do. You gave me a mic.
Go.
See what I'm saying?
Ale.
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
A little bit to what you're saying, but also just me for the way that I view it. I think for me, it's all about the end goal.
Okay.
It's not about the credit. I think that's the power that women have, and if they knew that so much so that they would wield that a lot, right? The man is the head of the household, but we are the neck. We steer which way you go, right?
That's true.
Men go to war for women. Like, men will do just about anything for women. You get the money for what? So you can get a woman. You ride a car, so what? We could ride in it, so we could see you. You know, and for you to show off with other men, because that's weird. But either way. So I think for me, the end goal is the point. However we get to the end goal, I'm fine if you need to boast in your chest. And one of the things that I like to do, you know, with my male friends and when I'm in a relationship with a significant other, I like to let you think it was your idea. I like to let you think that you did this.
That's not manipulative.
That's a fact.
You call it manipulative. I call it putting you in position to win. You see what I'm saying?
Of course, y'all agree.
But think about it.
Listen,
I don't think
no.
sometimes
I don't
think
only
about
do
it.
that in my relationship. I also do that at work.
Yeah,
I do that at work for my staff.
It's a strength of ours.
Listen,
It's
they
a
already
tool.
know what I can do. I'm trying to show them what you can do. So even if I gave you the alley-oop, you put it in, you got it.
Exactly.
I don't need
And
it.
I love that. So Dad used to always say that too when we used to work together. It's not about me. It's about what we're accomplishing. It's about you can get credit, I can get credit. Are we running a successful program here? You know what I mean? Are we running a successful marriage here? If on the outside you need to shine and be the king, beat your chest, you are King Kong, you do that. You know what I mean? And I will never take that away from you. In a household, you may know it, you may not know it. But it's smooth like, oh, baby, you know, you were talking about this the other day. Like, wouldn't you look crazy? And da-da-da-da. Like, that's, giving you that that amp in your back to make you go further. Because that's what we do as women.
And I think,
ego. Exactly. Yeah. For men, it's ego. For us, power never needs to be boastful.
Okay.
Power is silent. Power just wields what it needs. And that's it. At the end of the day, if my husband is winning, that means I'm winning. Yeah. So who cares?
Yeah. I think the only time that I'm gonna step up and be like, stop playing with me in life, not just in my relationship, is when you try to take all the credit but devalue me. Take the credit and leave me out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but don't try to devalue what I've done.
Right word.
You could just listen, step up, do your thing. Yes, it's me shining. Man, I'm cool. I'm chilling. I know what I do. But to put you up, you gotta put me down. Now I'm about to really flex. And I'm in every role in my professional life and everything, my flex is gonna come out when somebody try to play me.
Yeah.
Once you try to play me and devalue what I've done, that's when my big flex is gonna come out. Because now, prove it. You you say what he said. They said they could make another. They could make another hole. Like
Make another one.
Do it again. Since you did it the first time, do it again. Because I could always do it again.
And you'll always see every single great man, whenever they're giving a speech, they say, "Thank you to my wife.
For sure.
I would have never been here without her."
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But I got a question for you.
Like
Okay. Caleb, when you're in a relationship or when you have your significant other, are you okay if she has to step up and take that role?
For sure.
Okay.
I never have any problem. I actually love it.
Okay. I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I love to clean, man. I ain't gonna lie. I have no problem. She can go ahead. Like I said, man, I truly believe, person deep down in my heart and soul, a man cannot reach that next level without a good woman by his side. And that's why every single rich man or every single person that lives long tells you, you know what I'm saying? The biggest decision in your life is the woman you pick to sit by your side.
Exactly. But why? But and that's biblical. And that's biblical. Because like my shirt says, right? I think it says Proverbs.
Mrs. Good. What was Mrs.
The
Good
good
thing?
thing.
When you
find a wife, you obtain. Yes, and you obtain favor
with the Lord.
Exactly.
Yes.
But nah, that's truly, I stand by that though, for sure.
He does get a lot of favor. Everything.
That boy in the back.
So why?
That is beautiful, man. But nah, for sure. I have no problem with my woman taking the lead when she needs to. Go ahead, boo, do your thing. And I'll give you the credit. All right, look. Time is against us, but I do want to get this off real quick. I'm going to use Bianca's words here.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Yes.
My words
so,
go out.
Bianca always says she's a girl's girl.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I just say that.
So we're about to go on that avenue, right? So a lot of things that I've been seeing is a lot of fake friendships, fake girls, where they will support you, but they don't really fully support you for real. Where, you know, a lot of, they call it the pretty girl gang, where it's a bunch of pretty girls that will get together, but they don't really like each other. They just with each other because, you know what I'm saying, they're pretty and that gets them aroma. So girls, aka women supporting women.
I didn't know about
What
that
are your
one.
thoughts? Oh, no, that's a real thing.
Okay.
Can I?
You started off. I didn't know about that, so I'm listening.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's a real
look
thing.
directly into the camera when I say this.
Oh, wow.
The girls of my generation who think being pretty is being mean, go heal.
Amen.
Go heal. Because you're reflecting insecurity. You're projecting insecurity. The prettiest females that are happy are peaceful.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's facts.
This whole New York, we're stush, we're mean, babe, you're unhappy.
It's not cute.
It's the babe. You're unhappy.
You're unhappy.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a thing, especially in my generation. And it's like, why do you glorify being nasty to people? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
Being a girl's girl is conditional.
Oh.
People believe that being a girl's girl means everything that a girl does, you support, you agree with. Absolutely not.
I didn't know where that was going, but I like that.
I agree with things that align with me.
Hello.
Right?
Yes.
I agree with things that align with me. I can see one of my friends, it could be my best friend in the world. She could do something shisty, snaky to another girl. What do you think? Because that's my friend, go girl. Absolutely not. That's not a girl's girl. When you are a girl's girl, it doesn't matter if you know the person or not. You are going to want to see them win. If your friend is doing something wrong to another girl and you sit there and you big her up, you are not a girl's girl. Being a girl's girl is conditional depending on the situation, depending on the environment. I will support anything that aligns with who I am. If I genuinely like something about you, whether it's your hair, your nails, your shoes, your outfit, I'm going to tell you it looks good. If I don't like it, I'm not going to say anything.
That part.
I don't need to spew the negative because I disagree, right? I may not like your hair. I may not like your outfit. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to make a think piece on it. I'm not going to down you or degrade you to make you feel worse about yourself. If you want to wear purple hair today, be a purple hair girl. I'm okay with purple hair as long as the purple hair look good. But if I don't feel like the purple hair looks good, I don't need to say anything because you didn't ask for my opinion in the first place.
Right.
So that's the thing about being a girl's girl. People just feel like, yes, being a girl's girl means every girl you support, this, that, and the third. I can't support someone that's hurting another girl just because she's my friend.
Exactly.
So being a girl's girl is absolutely conditional.
Yeah.
But if you do see someone outside, they have, you know, you like their outfit, or you see somebody on social media, you like their outfit, they like their hair, they like anything about them, it costs you nothing to say that.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of day that person is having.
Yeah.
And that person was walking past and you're like, I love your outfit.
Yeah.
Have you ever like hated your outfit? You're like, it didn't come out right.
Yeah.
But you go outside and everybody's complimenting you on it. That's going to change how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
So it's okay. And when you give the compliment, you don't need to give a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Like, right? You're so pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Or, oh my gosh, like, that looks like you're a big girl.
That looks
but
good
I'm
for
a
your
big girl
body
too.
type.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
That'd
I
be
could wear
crazy.
that. Like, the backhanded compliments is disgusting. So, I do hear the discourse about being a girl's girl, the mean girl aesthetic of being a girl's girl. Definitely feel like being a girl's girl is conditional.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that too.
Oh, I can expand. Okay.
You can expand.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I love women. I love womanhood, but I cannot support what every woman does. I don't support foolery. I don't support debauchery. Like I'm always going to be a little counter.
Debauchery is hilarious.
I'm always going to be a little countercultural because what I see today, sometimes people don't like to call it out. If you see something, call it out. Like I cannot say I support women at the same time as like I support someone like Sexy Red and what she's contributing to the culture, what she's telling women, stuff like that.
But she is her own woman, and there are women that relate to her. So I feel like she may not relate to you, you as a woman, because that's not what you identify. But there's so many women who identify with her, right? So there is a market for her. There is a market because there are plenty of women who identify with Sexy Red and how she behaves. Now, me personally, am I a fan? No. It doesn't hurt me either.
I feel like it hurts our image.
Yeah.
But why? I don't necessarily see my image in Sexy Red, right? Sexy Red is not a representation of me. She's not a representation of me at all, right? So for me, who she decides to be as a woman is her own. Her experiences make her who she. I don't know her story.
Like, she doesn't speak for all women.
She doesn't speak for all women, but she does speak for women who identify with her. Yeah. And I don't get me wrong. I fully understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it, right? I definitely get it. And there are certain things for me that's cringy and all these things. But I feel like it goes to like what I'm saying, right? You're not going to go under Sexy Red's post on Instagram and be like, why are you doing this, right? You're going against all women. I feel like you can have your opinion. Yeah. You can have it and it could be healthy and it could come out, but it doesn't need to degrade. I feel like that's the part I don't get, right?
I get that.
People screaming like they're a girl's girl, but then you see them in people's comments like tearing other women down.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
If I see you tearing another woman down or tearing somebody up in comments, whether it's a celebrity or a regular person, please don't give me any compliments. I don't even want it from you.
I don't even comment.
Right? Because I wouldn't even think that anything you could say is genuine because my gosh, like you just tore her apart. But now you want to tell me my hair looks good. At this point, I don't even know. I don't even know. But I get it. There's a market for her.
Yeah.
Which is why she could soar, right? As she soared. But I get it. There's a lot of female artists that I just look at it like they don't represent me. Yeah. Kind of try to give them their grace. They represent someone, but they don't represent me.
Right.
Okay.
Try to separate them in that way.
Yeah.
Got you. I know you don't got anything you want to say?
Nah, you know.
Okay. Thanks. Moving on.
Not moving on.
How you gonna use my call out let me speak?
No.
How you gonna do that?
You said no. You don't
exactly.
I didn't say no.
Okay.
I didn't say no.
Go ahead.
Be nice to me.
You right. Women's month.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Nah, I'm small. I think being a girl's girl is the absence of competition, insecurity, and I'll leave it at that. It's the absence of insecurities and competition. Okay. I feel like if you stand firm in who you are, you love yourself, you know you were made in God's image, you are beautiful and fearfully made. There is nothing outside of you that you should compete
Mhm.
towards
Mhm.
or feel insecure
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about internal insecurities, because as women, we all have like our little insecurities and whatever, right? We don't stay in that state of mind, but I mean insecurity from someone else, like to
Okay.
project on someone else.
Mhm.
Because the people that comment negative things on other people is because you feel bad about something about yourself,
Mhm.
that you feel the need to say something bad about somebody else to make you feel good,
Mhm.
right? And the competition thing. Like, I can't be in competition. That's what makes a girl's girl truly a girl's girl. Because even like Daph was saying, there's a difference between being a girl's girl and advocating for all girls and being a mean girl. And
Mhm.
being a mean girl, you could have a bunch of friends and be a mean girl because, you know what I mean? You condone the behaviors of your friends, or you think your behavior is acceptable. And
Mhm.
it's not. Because the reality is, if you found no competition in the next woman, and you had no insecurities or coveted anything from that woman,
Mhm.
there's nothing stopping you from telling her she's beautiful. There's nothing stopping you if you see something wrong to be like, oh, babe, let me help you fix that.
Mhm.
Right? Because I see oftentimes where women are talking about something like, let's say, oh, my lace was lifted, and you talking about me. I've been on a train before where somebody's wig was like slid halfway back. You know what I'm saying? Like halfway back, smooth slid, because you know her head was on the thing and then she went forward and it slid back.
Yeah.
And you could see other girls cackling and kikiing about it, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
I smooth, babes, it's back there. You feel me? Like, you pull it closer. She's like, oh my God, thank you, girl. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Calm, simple. Why? Because there's no envy in me. There's no competition in me. I just want to see you good.
Mhm.
That's it. That's what true girls is. And that thing that you mentioned about the whole pretty girls getting together just because they pretty,
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That is a real thing.
I don't know nothing about that.
That is just, it's just.
What would that mean? So what that mean?
No,
It's
I mean like
aesthetically
for the sole purpose
No, I
of
get-
being
no, I
together but
get
not
that
be your
part.
friends.
But I feel
pleasing.
like
I didn't know that.
right? But that's perception too, right?
I don't know nothing about
Because
that.
who's saying my whole gang ain't pretty?
Not my
What you
whole
mean we
girl.
pretty?
My whole gang
My
fine.
whole gang pretty. So,
But the thing
what
is, we
that?
not together because we pretty. We together because
Yeah.
you make me ugly laugh.
Yeah,
The-
You know
and,
what I
and
mean?
I
Like-
think, and like even the movie Mean Girls,
Mhm.
like people really think it's about like mean girls when it's really about insecure girls and where these insecurities come in.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that, because if you look at that scene from Mean Girls, when they're in the room and they come in, they're like, my nail bed sucked. This is ugly. That's
Yeah.
ugly. But when these
Insecurity.
girls are outside in school every day,
The
they
baddest.
tearing everybody
Yep.
up for their nail beds, tearing
Mm.
everybody up for their forehead, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But they came home and the first things out their mouth were
Mhm.
all the things that they spewed on other people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the society that we're in.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
our world.
Is
We
that
can
why
say something too?
the trips never make it out?
The group chat,
The-
no, like
after make it
girls
out.
trip,
after
The Miami
girls
trip
never
never
make
made
it
it
back.
Yeah, they never make it back after the trip.
Oh,
Yeah, because they
okay.
realize the character of who they're really
Yeah.
chilling with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The thing about the whole aesthetically pleasing thing, it's like it also falls on the back of men too. So like club culture, right? They want the baddest in the section, right? So what girls would do is, oh, you fit my aesthetic. You know how to carry yourself. I want you to come and sit with me. But I've been in situations where they'd invite me out and they leaving me. I have to text you like, hey, you just left? Yeah. You leaving your friend. I would never go back out with you
Buddy
again.
system.
Yeah. But that's what most of them do. They don't
that's
want to go
scary.
outside with the friend who doesn't dress like them because they don't fit their aesthetic. And it's
Crazy.
like, yeah, that's the culture in my generation now.
That's
Crazy
sad.
word.
Well, that's your definition was really good. Like it clarified a lot. But I also like what you said too, conditional, and that's kind of like what I agree with too.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
That's good, man. I have so much. Time is not our friend, man. Time is not our friend. But I do love this little segment, you know, which is I wanted each of you guys to just have one thing that you want to say to young women out there currently, a message that you have for them. This is that point in time when you get to do that. Who would like to start?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So my message to young women. I'm all about emotional healing for women who have suffered from broken hearts, trauma, betrayal, all of that. So my message to young women is that I desperately want you guys to stay away from what I would call destiny eaters. Okay?
Elaborate,
Destiny.
please.
Yeah.
I need to know so I can stay awake.
Destiny.
Me too.
Eaters. I never heard that.
Destiny.
It's something that I call
Do your thing.
Destiny eaters are men who come into the lives of women and completely change their destiny and trajectory for the negative, for the bad. And where I got this from is that my husband and I actually watch a lot of divorce court, okay?
Oh.
And oftentimes we kind of see the same story. A man who is pretty like trifling, and then a woman who's left with scars and a broken heart, and just like whose destiny has been completely changed now because of this person that came into their lives. Like, he could have just left her alone. He could have just, you know, all of that. But I hate to see that. It really does break my heart. And that's my message to young women, just to like to understand that who you pick as a partner is very, very serious.
Yeah.
To protect your
Like,
heart.
you're talking about bloodline, you're talking about your heart, you're talking about your destiny, you're talking about your next generation, all of that. So I just want young women to be careful and to watch out for those type of men who are trying to steal your destiny, where you're going in life. Okay, so yeah.
Use, abuse, and leave.
Yes.
We don't want
I
them.
love
Destiny
I
eaters.
like that. Destiny eater. I'm about to
I
start
love
calling
that.
men
Stay
that.
away from me, you
Destiny
destiny eater.
Eaters.
You know that reminds me of the commercial where they be like, you lit liquor? It's giving.
Yo, Destiny Eaters. No, that.
Yeah, I hate to see
I
women
put
in
that.
such like a broken state like that.
Destiny
Young
Eaters,
women need to really
she
be
did
careful.
something for me
Listen,
there.
a man could come into your life and change your trajectory for good.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Like my man, right?
And my man.
Thank you
To my man.
That's my dog. That's my mom.
I love that.
We love that. We love
Yes.
that.
Love that for my man. Okay.
Who won next?
Anybody else?
Go ahead, Scarlett.
What I would like to tell women, especially young women, be yourself and go where you're celebrated.
Heavy on that, yeah.
Be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of the people around you. Are they pushing you to grow, or are they keeping you stagnant? Are they making you come out of your cocoon, or are they keeping you there? So I just think that all women should go to God, especially if you're confused about certain things, especially about your image. And it's okay to be alone and sit with yourself and heal from trauma or things that just have triggered you into insecurity.
Love that.
That's good.
My message to young women: stop letting society have you believe that having female friends is an unattainable goal. There are amazing women out there. There are amazing people out there. I'm blessed to be surrounded by a good 25 of them regularly, if not more.
That's deep.
And
That's a lot.
there is a lot of us. There's a
25,
lot
wow.
of different personalities, but these are the women that carry me when I can't carry myself. Okay. In times where I'm not in a relationship or I'm getting over a breakup, or what, these are the ones that carry me through, right? And even now, being in a healthy relationship, they're still carrying me. There are amazing women out there. Please go seek them. Go find them. Stop putting all your eggs into one basket, whether it's with a man or with a friend, right? Put some diversity in your circle, some diversity in your friendships. Balance that out, right? There are amazing women out there. Please stop having people let you believe that you cannot be friends with girls. That's my biggest crusade. I am here to avenge the girls groups. Girls are amazing. Shout out to my girls.
That's me. I'm one of the girls. I'm one of the 25. Just so you know. My message to young women, girls, women of all ages, honestly. Actually, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, for real. I think I'm gonna just say, wherever you are in life, give yourself grace. Like, it's okay. It's all right. Give yourself grace. Joy comes in the morning, as in you have another tomorrow. You can always change your circumstances, change your life, change your trajectory of where things are going. Even if you got a destiny eater, if he won't change, you change the person. If you ain't change, get to a
Yes.
next partner. You can change your life. You can change your man. You can change your job. You can change your hair. You can change your nails. You can change it again and change it again. Give yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
You are growing. You are learning. It's never too late to change your life. That's
Heal,
it.
heal,
Beautiful.
Heal.
heal your heart.
Heal.
Beautiful.
There you go. Change it inside out. Hallelujah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you for
You
being
know,
for having us.
This was great. I have so much more stuff. So much more stuff.
I mean, we
But
were a bunch of great women. We can talk fast.
I'm saying though. So once again, thank you for guys for coming. Happy Women's Month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are celebrated. You guys are loved. We appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. You guys
Thank
are the
you.
greatest. And we wouldn't be anything without y'all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful.
Before we go though,
Oh,
this is extra content for me.
okay.
One question that you guys have for men
Okay.
that you guys would like to ask, and I'll answer them, or not now though. You know, I'll make that extra piece of content. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
one question that you guys have for men. I know it's on the spot, but
I
go
want to
ahead.
know why men have such an issue being in relationships. Like, what's the problem with making her your girlfriend or your wife? Like, what's the big
Publicly or
deal?
just in general?
In general, even publicly or private. I'm very private with my relationship, but I'm in a relationship.
Right.
We both claim each other. Like, I don't understand that.
See that?
Hey, you got an answer for the boys.
I got this for that one.
Why y'all love y'all bro so much?
Ooh, that's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
Let me not say nothing because I love my girls too, so I can't say nothing. I love my girls real
That's
bad.
two. Love that. Love that one.
I'm still thinking.
You still thinking?
Yeah.
And I got an
I
answer
love
too.
my girls, so I can't say nothing about that.
I got an answer too.
I love my girls.
I'ma cook with that one. That'll.
In today's society, why are there so many men blaming women for everything?
Wow. Okay, y'all coming.
Wowza.
The onus is always gonna be on the man. Sorry, that's the way God did it.
We sniping tonight.
Yeah, y'all on
sniping
it.
tonight.
I'm drawing blank. I'm
You drawing blank?
drawing blank.
Thank
This
God.
is crazy.
Thank
crazy. This is
Thank
the first
you.
ever.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't we love it?
That's
Thank you guys so much for
crazy.
stopping by. We appreciate y'all.
Don't let her think.
Don't let her think.
Definitely don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace. Thank you.